that's what we're going to work on today, is feeling comfortable with your balance points to pull us forward. We'll do a little bit of freestanding stuff initially, okay? But for the most part, it's just going to be finding some balance, getting to an arch point that we start to lean. Small hand replacements. Bends are kind of big, it's comfortable upside down, but it's small, tight hand. Under the shoulders, hands are going to be turned out a bit, okay? And then we just start walking, okay?
You'll see some coaches, a lot of them teach the very gymnastic way, which is like, I'm an upright pencil and I act like I'm walking forward, right? Like none of us walk as a controlled fall, okay? That'd be weird. However, we're meant to be in our feet, not our hands. So for most of us, without lots of gymnastics background, like you're saying, all I'm doing and all that got me my handstand push-ups was being comfortable finding my tipping point, going slightly past that, and my hands essentially catch up to a very controlled fall. And that is handstand walking. It sounds, it's overly simplified, but with a couple cues and a couple different technique modifications, hopefully we'll get you moving, or at least in the right direction.
Cool. Ben's going to kick up, and I'm going to kind of grab his feet. He's going to go to a balance point. So we're just going to get here and just do some freestanding. So he's leaning forward. I'm going to tap him. I'm just going to get here. When you feel like you want to come down, just say down, and then just come back. Okay. Down. Okay. Great. So just kind of warming up the shoulders. Two things to think about. Hands are going to be like in a jerk grip, thruster or whatever, directly under your shoulders, and hands are going to be turned out slightly. Okay, so three things, and lock your elbows. Cool, those are the 3 points. Okay.
Quick point. So as we're kicking up, like our dismount should be straight back. Careful for your partner. Try not to kick them in the face.
Yeah, don't kick up really hard. Like, don't slam into the wall. Like, just kick up light. If you don't kick up all the way, that's okay. I don't want you to kick over.
Has anyone done the PVC drill? Okay, can you spot me?
Sure.
You'll be my spotter. So then actually, I'll do demo really quick. So we just practiced getting people to their balance point, right? And remember what we said in the beginning, the key to handstand walking is finding your balance point, going slightly beyond it in a controlled manner where we're going forward. Not backwards, definitely not to the side, right? Forward. So our goal here is, now that you guys have practiced a little bit of getting up, kind of finding that balance point, the goal is that now you have a spotter. As the spotter, you're the person with the PVC pipe. It is very important that you are a good spotter, which means you're not letting your athlete do a full front flip forward, okay? So your goal at all times is do not let them fall all the way forward. You can push them back to where they just come back normally, like, you know, like land in the normal position. I don't know any other way how to put that. But your job is to make sure that they kick up, find their balance point, and then as they start to move, you move slowly with them. So Terry's going to spot me, and notice how she is in charge of making sure I don't kick her in the face. Okay? So my goal is I'm going to kick up vertically. I'm not going to kick my heels or anything. I don't want to hit her. I'm going to kick up vertically. She's going to catch me with her PVC pipe and then slowly work her way back. And don't worry, we'll have a lot of practice with this. Let's go forward so I don't run you into something. So I'm here. She's braced. She's ready. If I hit this, it's not going to knock her over. If anything, she can knock me over the right way backwards, and that's fine, okay? So I'm here. I'm going to aim to plant my hands slightly in front of where her bar is, vertically. And then from here, I find the bar and slowly work my way forward. And if at any point I lose her, if she's moving too fast, you'll know, because you're going to start going, I'm going to be tipping too far forward. And it's your job as a spotter to catch, give them that tactile cue on their calves, and then if they're out of control, you can always just push them, which will push me back down. So show me one where you control me and push me back down. Okay, so let's say I'm up, I'm way out of control, and she can push me right back down, okay? So it helps here if you're partnered with someone that's relatively the same height as you. And what I think I want to do is we can honestly like partner up, because I like to get eyes on everyone before I just throw you off and say, go do this. So let's have the first pair up. We're each going to give an attempt, and then we'll move on from there. The spotter, I don't want you moving back until your athlete has touched and looks stable. Okay? Because a common problem that happens here is the athlete kicks up and they never find the PVC pipe, and they panic, right? So your goal as the spotter is to catch them, they feel stable, and then slowly start to move back, okay?
Some more aggressive, like,
Go. And when you're ready, maybe a few steps and relax. Good, good, awesome. So, that was a great demonstration, right? She's upside down, she's moving her hands. Obviously, you probably felt how like, when you stepped, it was like step, stop, and that's fine. As we get better at handstand walks, you'll start to learn. It's just like walking. When I'm walking, I have my weight is all on one foot and I switch to the next. When we're doing a handstand walk, to actually get the flow and get some momentum, that's what it's going to turn into. But to start, to be comfortable, it's okay if both your hands are planted and you're like 1, okay? 2, okay? Like it's okay if you go slow to start, and then we'll slowly work up our speed, and then maybe at some point get rid of the PVC pipe, okay? So let's do one more. I'm gonna have each person, we're gonna do 2 kick-ups with 2 tests, and realistically, let's aim for like, 3 or 4 steps, and then you can kick down, okay? He's there to catch you, good, and walk. Tight and good. And yeah, so remember, as a spotter, especially as the end, if they're getting fatigued, just give them a push back in the right direction so they don't come all the way over, okay? So how did that feel for you?
good.
How much weight did you feel like you had of hers? Not too much? That's good, that's good. Because ideally, eventually that PVC spotter is like, I'm barely touching your shins, or excuse me, your calves. Barely touching the calves. But in the beginning, you might be supporting a lot of weight, so be ready for it. It's basically like, when I feel like you're stable, I'm gonna keep going and you might lose contact with me. Just trust that I'm there if you ever go too far, okay?
You done? You look really good.
I'm here. There you go. And then like right there where we got like the 3 steps where I wasn't contacting you, that's that magic zone where you're like, you're a handstand walker, right? And you're just getting bits and pieces of exposure to that. I want you to kick up and don't walk. And I'm just going to support you on the front, try to balance, and then when you're ready, we're going to start walking forward, okay? All right, so you feel like at one point you were past the balance point, and then you were there, and then you fell that way. So that's that balance point. So we'll do it one more time. We'll hold it. Hold, and then now we're past the balance point, we're coming forward. There you go. Okay? Like I'm tight everywhere. It's very hard for me to breathe when I'm handstand walking because everything's fairly tight. It certainly helps if you squeeze your glutes because then that's just like anything that's loose is more movement, right? There you go. Nice. I'm barely spotting. Excellent. That was good. And it, like in the beginning, I have that weight, and then as I start moving, I'm barely touching you. That's looking really good.
You feel better.
Yeah, you just gotta commit, just like earlier, right? You're like, you're not one to commit to that tipping point. Commit. He's there. He's there to help you. There you go. Awesome. And so like 3 or 4 of those steps were essentially no assistance at all. He was there to catch you when you lost control a little bit, but 3 or 4 of those steps were handstand. Okay? All right, good work, good work. Look, not everyone has a spotter available at all times, right? I want to show you a couple drills that I really like to develop hand placement, or really, I call it like hand cadence. You'll notice like some of you, when you're in your handstand push-up, it's like, or handstand walk, it's like step, pause, step, pause. One thing that really helped me figure out my cadence for my handstand walks was, I call them shoulder taps or wall runs. So basically, getting in this position and practicing transferring my weight from one hand to the next, okay? Because when we're handstand walking, it's kind of, that's what it is, it's a sway. It's like we go 1 and 2 and 3. When we can get that cadence and then transfer to the drill that we were just doing, you're gonna feel a lot more stable moving forward. Because if when you do wall runs or shoulder taps, if it looks like this, right? basically you're not practicing transitioning from one hand to the next, which when you're doing a true handstand walk, most of the time you're on one hand, right? So if you're like this and you're like, barely able to, you have to have 2 points of contact, you'll never really learn how to walk, okay? So what I want to do, and I know we've been upside down quite a bit, we're going to have 2 athletes go up. It's just a wall walk, okay? You can get as close or as far as you want, whatever's comfortable to you. The closer you get to the wall, the more beneficial it is. And I just want us to practice. If you need to start, don't even do anything. You don't have to touch your shoulders or anything. Just transfer. Wait from one hand to the next. And when you feel ready, maybe lift them up and tap your other shoulder, okay? We'll do 2 athletes at a time. I don't think we have much room for anything else here. Yeah. Excellent. Nice and smooth transitions. Beautiful, ladies. Where are those thumbs pointed? Yeah, it's fine. You're good. You're good. Come down. Good. Excellent. Excellent. Right. So just keep. You have a tip for whatever reason you want to walk like that. Just based on my experience, it's always easier, especially for new handstand walkers, to slightly angle that. Wherever that V is facing, that's where you're going. Okay. Good job. Did everybody see how, like, when they were up, very smooth transitions? That's what we want. Or so. Feet together, boys. There you go. Excellent. Hey, Kevin. Some elbow bend for me. See if you, yeah, there it is. I would rather you practice just a little hand lift. And then when you get used to maybe like no elbow hand lift, then eventually just start bending your elbows a little bit. But the key is that cadence. Because I don't care if someone can go, right? What I care about is 1, 2, 3. Just that nice, smooth, steady pace, because that's what's going to transition when we're upside down. Okay? Cool.
With your body, are you purposely, or is it coming to you?
When I do it, honestly, I do lean a little bit. I don't know what body part it's with, but I'm not because if I just lift my hand, right, I'm going to fall that way. So I kind of lean into the hand that I'm putting the weight on, and that's exactly when I'm actually handstand walking. It's very slight, but there's a little bit of a lean. That's why you see people kicking their feet. Because they'll kick their feet and then all their weight goes into that hand. They'll kick their feet and all the weight goes to the other hand. Okay? Cool. So, a couple more drills that I want to leave you with, right, for homework. You probably have seen a couple of these. There's 2 drills. One's harder than the other, always, but for different people. Some people are more comfortable walking into the wall. Some people are more comfortable walking away from the wall. We're going to test a couple of them out. If one of these you're like, absolutely no way, and that's okay. So, I think the easiest one is a walk into the wall. This is basically the equivalent of having that PVC spotter, but you don't need a live human being, okay? So all that is, we've all obviously clearly can kick up into a handstand push-up position, but what we're doing now is we're purposefully doing that too far away from the wall. Okay, so rather than kicking up here, and my feet are on the wall, what we're going to do is we're going to take maybe a step back or 2, and all I'm going to do is a couple steps into the wall. Just like everything we do in CrossFit, it's progression. So you can even mark it on the floor. You kick up to the wall normally. Okay, we're good. Let's take a half step back. Kick up to the wall, and you're going to have to take 1 or 2 steps before the wall catches you. And then so on and so forth. Eventually, a really good drill to get those first few steps, because you know you have a wall to catch you, is I'm back somewhere like here, I kick up, and I know that if I lose my balance, if I move my hands forward, that wall's going to stop me. It is your job, since you don't have a spotter, to make sure you don't leave your hand stationary and flip all the way over, right? So that's one drill we can practice, is walking into the wall. And for this, we'll probably do 1 at a time. The other drill that maybe you might be more comfortable with is what I showed earlier, which is the wall walkaways. For some people, this freaks them out and they hate it, so no pressure. But a wall walkaway, that was a walk into the wall. A walkaway, I'm doing that wall walk. And then hands close to the wall, I'm trying to get my feet away from the wall and find that balance point. And then at some point, I'll tip away, and if at any point it's bad, my feet can come back down to the wall. Okay? Now, one thing to notice, there is no forward spotter. Okay? So this is on you. If you go too far and you're like, ah, you could flip over. It's not the end of the world. It happens. Tuck your head, you'll roll out of it. It looks worse than it is. But this is a great way to play around. Remember how you were talking about not being able to find that balance? It's impossible not to find it here because you're going to kick away and you'll be like, no. And then eventually you're going to kick away and be like, uh-oh, here I go. That's that balance point. Hey, did you like this video? Well, I have a lot more where that came from, where you can enhance your skills even more and learn a bunch. Click this box to watch my next video.